Hi everyone, we're talking about the show tonight, and we were just having a conversation, so we thought you could be a fly on the wall and just listen to our discussion about what we're focusing on tonight, which begins with the David Martin piece on North Korea. And we were just saying how there was a good line in the New York Times that David did a fantastic job, but that really sent chills up your spine, which was...
I think it was in the David Sanger story, the analysis piece in which he said North Korea has never built a weapons system or weapon that they haven't sold on the black market. So that's what makes the fact that they tested a nuclear weapon yesterday so chilling and frightening. So I think what David is, looking at is exactly how they're trying to turn this nuclear device. I think it's fair to say that what they did inside that mountain, whatever it was, wasn't in the form of a weapon. It was in the form of something that could produce a nuclear explosive. But how hard they're working to turn that into a weapon is something that David's working on.
And loose nukes is obviously something that any national security expert is terrified of, because in the hands of the wrong people, nuclear weapons could be obviously devastating. And that's one of the recommendations from the 9/11 Commission, that they're frustrated more has not been done in this regard. So Armin Katayan, who's our investigative reporter, is going to do a whole piece on how these nukes could get into the hands of the wrong people, right, Rome?
And something about what the government has done or is in the process of doing to try to combat those possibilities. So there's sort of maybe a little bit of more hopeful news than we know about.
Right. And what else do we have in the lineup today?
Well,
there's a school. Do you want to talk about the school safety?
Yeah, the summit in Washington, sponsored by the White House. The Attorney General is there. The Secretary of Education
Some
is
Columbine
there.
survivors, apparently, but I don't think our guy is there, who was on free speech, who caused such a commotion.
But we also have asked Cindy Bowers to take a look at in a school district.
But don't take it too much away.
I'm not going to talk much more about that.
We're just talking about what have been effective ways of staving off or preventing school shootings.
Also, the transcript was released today from the 9/11 call, in which last week's shooter at the Amish school was talking to.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Now, not the audio tape, but
just a transcript.
Transcript of what he said. I guess there was.
I didn't think he called 911.
I don't think he did, but somehow they got through to him or on his cell phone. The transcript of a conversation that he had, in which
not with his wife.
No, it may have been that it was. I honestly don't know all the details of it, but it included what the state police person talked about last week. His threat to begin shooting these kids, and it's a chilling thing even to read. Obviously, the tape is not out, but it's a very terrible thing to read.
That story still is just so upsetting, I think, for
It really is.
And
also, we've got some politics, obviously. 4 weeks from today's the election.
Right, and we're to actually have a piece on the fact that so many veterans of the Iraq War are running for office. Well, not so many. I would say a handful. I think 4 Democrats and 2 Republicans, and basically they are trying to shore up their image as strong on national defense but anti-war, and it's not quite the slam dunk that maybe people would think it would be, because all politics is... Who said that? Daniel Patrick Moynihan?
All politics is local.
Yeah.
Tip O'Neill.
Tip O'Neill, that's right. Tip O'Neill said that.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Speaking
we knew he'd make an appearance. He feigns that he's sort of shy and humble, but not so.
Nice pink shirt, too.
I'm man enough to wear pink.
Speaking of vets, we also have in our free speech segment a veteran of the war in Iraq. He was wounded during the battle in Fallujah, and he offers tonight a perspective on how the United States ought to go forward in Iraq, and very strong argument that we have to stay the course. This is in contrast to the opinion that we had in our free speech segment last night from someone who was very passionately arguing that it's time for the United States to get out of Iraq.
It's been basically a disaster in every possible
This is a national debate, and I think we are trying to reflect between last night and tonight two very different positions in
I
this
still
debate.
think our Iraq roundtable is something we should still do.
Yeah, in fact, I was trading emails with Nicola about that today, but we're also not going to talk about who's in that
No,
because they
No.
would steal our ideas.
I know. We did YouTube and Google on Friday. Everyone else did
And then
it
the deal
on
came
Monday.
to pass yesterday.
We did the London documentarian on the Amish on Monday, ABC on Tuesday. But hey, you know, a good story is a good story, right, Rome?
That's right. We're just always trying to be ahead of the curve.
So that's
Some
it.
success.
So I
Thanks.
think we're running out of steam here a little bit. I need to eat, actually, something. What are you eating? This is, of course, very interesting and important.
Chicken.
Did you bring
salad.
that?
No.
Oh, that looks good.
What's that?
No, thanks. I'm going to go run out and have a quick salad with
All right.
someone.
Thanks.
All right, so that's it, you guys. First look.